Dear student, in today's lecture we start problem from chapter number 2, Mechanical Properties of Fluid. It's a problem number 10. Find the pressure 200 meter below the surface of the ocean if pressure on free surface of liquid is 1 atmosphere. Density of seawater is given 1060 kg per meter cube. Now let we enlist the given quantities. H is 200, density is 1060, and this is the pressure, atmospheric pressure. It is 1 atmosphere. 1 atmospheric pressure is equal to 1.013 into 10 raised to 5 Newton per meter square. Now we know the formula of pressure. P is equal to P0 plus H rho g, or we can write P minus P0 is equal to H rho g. So H is 200, rho is 1060, g is 9.8. So here we substitute it. After substitution, we have to do the calculation. So this is P0. So here, this is a log calculation of 200 multiplied by 1060 into 9.8. And by that, we get the answer 2077700. So we write this number into 10 raised to 5, means in the form of 10 raised to 5, because here 10 raised to 5 is there. So 20.77 into 10 raised to 5 plus 1.013 into 10 raised to 5. 10 raised to 5 we can take common. 20.77 plus 1.013. The addition of this is 21.783 into 10 raised to 5 Newton per meter square. And this is the answer. Now the question number 11 from the exercise. In hydraulic lift, the input piston had surface area 30 centimeter square and the output piston had surface area 1500 centimeter square. If the force 25 Newton is applied to the input piston, calculate weight on output piston. Area 2, 1500 centimeter square. Area 1, 30 centimeter square. Force at input 25 Newton. By Pascal law, pressure at input piston is equal to pressure at output piston. Means P1 is equal to P2. So pressure formula is F by A. So F1 by A1 is the input pressure. F2 by A2 is the pressure at output piston. And here we have to find out F2, weight on the output piston, means F2. So after substitution of F1, A1, A2, we get this 1250 Newton. So this is the weight on output piston, 1250 Newton. Now next problem, problem number 14. With what terminal velocity will an air bubble 0.4 mm in diameter rise in a liquid of viscosity 0.1 Newton second per meter square and specific gravity 0.9? Density of air is given here 1.29 kg per meter cube. So diameter is given here 0.4 mm, but we require radius. So 0.2 mm, which is converted into the meter, 0.2 into 10 raised to minus 3 meter. Coefficient of viscosity is given 0.1 in SI. Specific gravity 0.9. Density is given 1.293, and we have to find out V. Specific gravity having a formula density of object divided by density of water. So we substitute here and we can find out this density of object. So density of object is equal to specific gravity into density of water. Specific gravity is 0.9 and density of water is 1000 in SI. So we get density of object is 900 kg per meter cube. Now we know the formula of terminal velocity. 2 by 9 r square rho minus sigma into g divided by eta. After substitution of this r square, 2 into 10 raised to minus 4 square. R is 0.2 into 10 raised to minus 3 meter. So we are written 2 into 10 raised to minus 4, its square. Now rho minus sigma, 1.293 minus 900 into g is 9.88. Coefficient of viscosity 0.1. Now let me simplify this one. 2 square is 4, 10 raised to minus 4 square is 10 raised to minus 8. And the subtraction is coming minus 8.98.707 into this 9.8 as it is. Now, this more simplification we can do. This 4 2s are 8. We are written here. The remaining term as it is. Okay. And this 9 into zero point 0.1 is 0.9. We are written 9 into 10 raised to minus 1. When it is shifted up, it is plus 1. So it is, instead of 10 raised to minus 8, we are written 10 raised to minus 7 here. Now we solve this by a log. So you can see a log of 8 plus log of 8.7 plus log of 9.8 minus log of 9. You can see here. Then this is coming 7830 and this 10 raised to minus 7 as it is here. So we get the answer here. V is equal to minus 7.830 into 10 raised to minus 4 meter per second. Negative sign indicate that bubble rises up, means it moves in upward direction. Now next question. The speed of water is 2 meter per second through a pipe of internal diameter 10 centimeter. This diameter is given. What should be the internal diameter of nozzle of pipe if speed of the water at nozzle is 4 meter per second? So let me unleash all the given. So this V1 is 2 meter per second. You can see here speed of the water at diameter 10 centimeter. So diameter is 10 centimeter. Speed is 4 meter per second and you have to find out diameter. So we can use equation of continuity A1 V1 is equal to A2 V2. This area is the cross-sectional area, so we can use pi r square. So pi r1 square into this V1 as it is. Pi r2 square into V2. Pi get cancelled. So we get r1 square V1 is equal to r2 square V2. Now we have to substitute here the values and we have to calculate r2. And by that r2 we can calculate the diameter. So r2 is equal to under root r1 square into V1 divided by V2. Let we substitute the values. Then after substitution, we get R2 is equal to 5 upon root 2 into 10 raised to minus 2 meter. So diameter is twice of this. Okay? So 2 into this R2. You can see here we substituted R2 here. Then after substitution of R2, we get here root 2 into 5 into 10 raised to minus 2. Root 2 into 5 is coming 7.07 into 10 raised to minus 2 as it is. And it is the diameter. Now next question, it is a problem number 16 from exercise. With what velocity does water flow out of an orifice in a tank with gauge pressure 4 into 10 raised to 5 Newton per meter square before the flow starts? Density of water is in SI is 1000 kg meter cube. Let me enlist it. We are using G here 10, rho 1000, pressure 4 into 10 raised to 5 which is given here, you can see. And we have to find out V, velocity. With what velocity water flow out. So pressure is equal to H rho G. So H is equal to P divided by rho G. Now we can get by substituting these values of P rho G, we get H as a 40 meter per second. Sorry, 40 meter. So it is 40 meter only. (40 meter) is the height. Now we know that by this Torricelli's law, Speed of efflux is equal to speed of freely falling object. Means V is equal to under root 2 G. H we get 40 meter. So we substitute here and G 10. So 2 into 10 into 40. It is coming 400 into 2, under root 400 into 2. So which is equivalent to 20 root 2. So 20 into 1.414. So here, after doing the multiplication, we get V is equal to 20.28 meter per second. And this is the velocity of water flow out of an orifice. Now next question is the problem number 18 from exercise. Calculate the rise of water inside a clean glass capillary tube of radius 0.1 mm when immersed in a water of surface tension 7 into 10 raised to minus 2 Newton per meter. The angle of contact between water and glass is 0. Density of water is 1000 kg per meter cube. G is 9.8. So let me enlist all the data. R 0.1 mm, surface tension 0.07 Newton per meter, G is 9.8 meter per second square. This R we can write into the meter by multiplying 10 raised to minus 8. Density is 1000. We have to find out H. So we can use here the formula of surface tension that we can write for the H, 2T cos theta by R rho G. Everything is given, we have to substitute. Now let me substitute here. Then after the substitution and doing the calculation, we get here H is equal to 14 divided by 9.8 into 10 raised to minus 1. Let me do this calculation. 14 by 9.8 by log. So log of 14 minus log of 9.8, you can see, which is 1.429 into this 10 raised to minus 1, which is equivalent to 0.1429 meter. And this is the rise of water inside the clean glass capillary tube, whose radius is 0.1 mm. Next question is problem number 19 from exercise. An air bubble of radius 0.2 mm is situated just below the water surface. Calculate the gauge pressure. Surface tension of water is 7.2 into 10 raised to minus 2 Newton per meter. Now given R 0.2 mm, which is converted into the meter here by multiplying 10 raised to minus 2. Surface tension 7.2 into 10 raised to minus 2. And we have to find out gauge pressure, means Pi minus Po. So which is equal to 2T by R. So we already have a formula of 2T by R is equal to 2T. Pi minus Po is equal to 2T by R. So here it's the air bubble which is below the water. So only inside surface is the free surface. So 2T by R is coming. So after substitution of surface tension and R, we get answer 7.2 into 10 raised to 2 Newton per meter square, or it is equivalent to 720 Newton per meter square. So this is the answer for this question 19. Now question number 20 from exercise. 27 droplets of water, each of radius 0.1 mm, coalesce into a single drop. Find the change in surface energy. Surface tension of water is 0.072 Newton per meter. Given data here, R is 0.1 mm, surface tension 0.072 Newton per meter. As volume remains constant, so we can write 27 V1 is equal to V2. 27 droplets are there. 27 multiplied by volume of 1 is equal to volume of a single drop. Now 27 into volume of single droplet is 4 by 3 pi r cube, small r cube, is equal to 4 by 3 pi, capital R is the radius of drop. Now here we get the relation capital R is equal to 3 into small r. So here the small r is given 0.1 mm. So change in surface area is equal to A1 minus A2. So A1 is 27 multiplied by a surface area of single droplet 4 pi r square minus surface area of drop 4 pi r square. Now 4 pi is common, taken out, 27 into r square minus r square. So here we can substitute this relation. Instead of capital R, 3 into small r we can write. So 3r square is 9r square. 27r square minus 9r square is, or we can take on here a 9r square common, 3 minus 1. So it is coming 3 minus 1, 2. So 18r square multiplied by 4 pi is a change in surface area. After solving this multiplication, we get 72 pi r square is the change in area. So change in surface energy is surface tension into change in area. Surface tension is T and area change in area is 72 pi r square. Now we have to substitute here. 72, this pi is 3.14, r is 0.1 into 10 raised to minus 3 bracket square. Then after solving this, we get it is 0.1 into 10 raised to minus 3 is equivalent to 10 raised to minus 4, and this square as it is. So we have to simplify it more. So here we done the shifting of the power here. So it is 10 raised to minus 4 square is 10 raised to minus 8. 9, 10, 11. We shifted this decimal point with the 3 digits. So it is 10 raised to minus 11. 72 into 3.14. We can solve it by log. You can see a log of 72 plus log of 72 again plus log of 3.14. So this calculation is coming 16280 into this 10 raised to minus 11 joule. So that we can write in standard form. So 1.628 into 10 raised to minus 7 joule is the change in surface energy. Now next question. Next question is the question number 21 from exercise. A drop of mercury of radius 0.2 centimeter is broken into 8 droplets of the same size. Find the work done if the surface tension of mercury is 435.5 dyne per centimeter. So given surface tension and number of droplets, capital R, radius of the drop, then we can find out work done to break a drop into droplet is given by formula 4 pi r square t n raised to 1 by 3 minus 1. So here n is 8, 8 raised to 1 by 3 is 2, 2 minus 1, 1. So this bracket is coming 1. Okay, surface tension we substitute 4 as it is, pi is 3.14, r is 0.2 centimeter. Okay, because here we are taken here surface tension in CGS, so we are taken here radius also in centimeter. So this is coming 1. So after doing this calculation, 0.2 into 0.2 is 4 into 10 raised to minus 2. So this calculation we can solve it by log. So you can see a log of 435.5 plus log of 4 plus log of 3.14 plus log of 4, which is coming 21890, and this 10 raised to minus 2 as it is. So we write it in standard form, or we write by cancelling this 10 raised to minus 2. We get answer 218.9 erg, and this is the answer. Or if you want to convert into the joule, you can convert into the joule also. In standard form, we can write 2.1890 into 10 raised to minus 5. You know that one erg is equal to 10 raised to minus 7 joule. Now next question is question number 22. How much work is required to form a bubble of 2 centimeter radius from soap solution having surface tension 0.07 Newton per meter? So here data is R2 is 2 centimeter, R10, T is 0.07 Newton per meter, and work done we have to find out. So here we have to form a bubble. So initially no radius, and then the radius is 2 centimeter. So we can find out change in surface area. The formula is, you can see area 2 minus area 1. So area 1 is 0. So 4 pi r square, r2 square basically is the change in surface area. So work done is T into surface area. But here it's a bubble, so two free surfaces. So 2T into change in surface area. So change in surface area 4 pi r2 square. So we have to substitute the values. T is 0.07, 2 as it is, 4 as it is, pi is 3.14, R2 is 0.02 square, or you can write 2 into 10 raised to minus 2 square. Then it is, we shift the decimal point with 2 digit here, and here 10 raised to minus 4 is coming. Okay? So it is 10 raised to minus 6, and 2 square is 4. So other these 4 into 2, 8. So after doing this calculation by log, means log of 7 plus log of 32 plus log of 3.14. So we get it is 703.3 into this 10 raised to minus 6 as it is. So this is the work done in joule. Or we can write like this way also, 7.033 into 10 raised to minus 4. Now next question. A rectangular wire frame of size 2 centimeter into 2 centimeter is dipped in a soap solution and taken out. A soap film is formed. If the size of the film is changed to 3 centimeter into 3 centimeter, calculate the work done in the process. Surface tension of the soap film is 3 into 10 raised to minus 2 Newton per meter. So given here, area 1, area 2, surface tension is given. Change in area is area 2 minus area 1. So here we have to take this subtraction of these two. So it is coming 5 into 10 raised to minus 4. And work done is 2T into dA, means change in area. So 2 is coming because it's a rectangular frame and it has the two free surfaces. Rectangular soap frame, when this means rectangular wire frame is there, when the soap film is formed, it has the two free surfaces, so 2 is coming here. Now let me substitute T, 3 into 10 raised to minus 2. This 2 as it is, and change in area is 5 into 10 raised to minus 4, you can see. So after solving this, we get 3 into 10 raised to minus 5 joule. And this is the answer for this question. This is the work done. Now here this chapter, mechanical properties of fluid, is over. I hope you understood all the problems.